For a brief moment of silence, we ask for God's mercy. We ask for God's light, wisdom, and a renewed spirit, especially in compassion. In this time of quarantine and lockdown, there's so many emotions that surface. Sabi nga ng iba, it's like a cabin. It's like a cabin fever feeling. You're like suffocated inside, and you just want to go back to the land and to the normal. But this is the normal now. What I want to propose, especially for our reflection, if you notice, in the first reading, it talks about a prophet, they considered him obnoxious. So they think of him as someone, to be condemned. The second one is, you will see that the responsorial psalm talks about how God is so close to the broken-hearted. The third one is the right time. Remember, it's getting closer and closer to Jerusalem, and the lowest point of Jesus, which is the scandal of the cross, as Paul will say. And of course, people are trying to devise ways of plotting to kill him. It's also the feast of the tabernacles, or the booths, no? It's like a special, major feast for Jewish people. So let me start first with this. I don't know, I just remember this morning, because I usually pray in the morning, and the past few weeks and months, I have been praying at the top of our, this is our laundry area, but it's also a place for, I can see the sunrise, and I can see, and I can feel the gentle breeze. Kanina medyo maganda rin yung hagod ng hangin, and also once the sun rises, I can begin to hear rejoicing from the birds, and almost like they greet the morning sun. This morning, I don't know, because I've been thinking a lot about this. There's so many thoughts in my mind, but let me just focus on the first one. I don't know. I remember Paring Bert. Paring Bert as a word is because he's a poet. The word that he uses is tahanan. Remember, it is the feast of the tabernacles. For the Jews, this one is a feast where it was a difficult time. They were traveling from Egypt, and they are unsure in the desert. In fact, they complained a lot, and it was a time of insecurity, and they didn't have the proper dwelling, parang mga homeless, and they are unsure of what the future will bring. I will talk more about that in a short while. So yung tahanan, para kay Paring Bert, tahanan means home. I suppose it's like looking for a home, because right now, although everyone is at home, the real normal that we have been used to, people would like to travel, people would like to get out of the house. Sabi nga ng isang nag-Viber, Father, siguro kating-kati ka na at gusto mo nang lumabas. Parang ganon. Because everyone's like in a cabin, and people would like to go, to the normal, beyond the checkpoints, beyond the, sana bumalik na sa normal, parang ganon, where you don't have to be stopped and or quarantine, parang ganon. Anyway, so anong sabi ni Paring Bert? He said, pagtahanan, ibig sabihin you have a storm. Tumahan na ang ulan, ibig sabihin may bagyo. But we have a different bagyo. It's like we don't even know the enemy. It's imminent and present danger, but we don't see, invisible. So parang droplets lang alam natin, mga ganon. And of course, it enters the eyes, the nose. It can enter any place. The hands. It can go through the esophagus, and then mamaya tatamaan na yung the lungs. That's why we have pneumonia and inflammation. I just heard that inflammation is really an autoimmune. Kaya lang, mahina na yung resistance. So, it likes the virus, takes over the whole itong respiratory system. Kaya hirap huminga yung mga tao. Hard to breathe, okay? But, in that tahanan, when it says that tumahan na ang ulan, parang tumigil na ang ulan. I recall that because I know the rainbow, parang yung sa Noah's Ark, will come back and it will be normalized again. So we wait for that. And I think many people are waiting for that rainbow, for that parang settling down of tumahan na, parang to be at peace and to calm down. So the storm, we don't want the storm, okay, to stay for a long time. Kahit droplets lang yan, but we want this normalization of our old usual routine. The second one is pag sinabi daw yung bata o tahan na, I imagine, for example, there was a video that I saw just recently. Yung bata umiiyak. Why? Mama had to go because she's one of the frontliners. Hindi mo siya mapigilan. Parang you know this already when mama will have to, or papa will have to go for OFW work, or will have to, parang separation. And for us, separation is not always easy. As you can see, I already heard that one of the hardest at this particular time is not to see our loved ones physically. Sabi nga ng isang lola, I really like reunion of my family members, my apo, I want to see them. Tapos, she's a cancer patient and she wants to do service work kahit na may cancer siya, bang ganon. So parang sabi niya, this is making me impatient. So, but anyway, yung pag sinasabi nating tahana, it is tahana empoy, parang sinasabi natin, parang inahawakan mo yung kamay ng bata o niyayakap siya, kalma na, panatag ang loob, yon. I thought I liked that, etong tahana, yon, parang to calm down and your tears will subside. The third one that Paring Bert was talking about is tahana also means itong parang yung mga mag-asawa, tumahan na sila, nanahan na sila. But for me, hindi lang yung parang mga mag-asawa na lumagay na sila sa tahimik, minsan magulo yun. Pero sila ay, I like what the word made flesh means. At ang salita, nanahan sa piling natin. Yon. So I thought I loved that so much because it means that we have all, more than ever now, at this particular time, we need the flesh, the kumbaga, the incarnation of this Jesus in our life, and to be good news for us, to be a healer once more, to be a bearer of the, sabi niya, he was sent daw by the Father daw, to really feel his saving presence among us. So parang the word made flesh for me means that he will be our good news again. Yon. So yung taha na yan, okay? That is home. We want to recover our home again, okay? The storm will cease and will pass, and then the tears of a child will subside, and then of course we want to go back to this presence of the good news, the word made flesh. The second one I remember that I want to reflect with you is yung sabi ni Bobby Gev, one of the professors of theology of Bobby Gev. He gives this parang talks on the midlife, mga ganon. A midlife, and then at the same time, pero ang image ginagamit niya, sabi niya, this is the Exodus. So he likes that particular, parang yung kagaya nitong ating Feast of the Tabernacles. It's a reminder of that Exodus, people traveling in the desert. So it's not an easy time. As you can see, they were complaining they want to go back na to Egypt kasi that old routine of food And they want to go to their old normal life. And at the same time, they were complaining to God, they were complaining to Moses, and basta it brought out the war side. That's why the serpents were sent, mga ganon. But Bobby Gav is using that image of Exodus to mention this. And I like this. I want to, what I remember is, sabi ni Bobby Gav, I think it makes sense. Sabi niya, what will the what will these Israelites do? Okay? Sa likod, you have the soldiers. They're running after these Israelites, okay? And they were running away kasi nawalan sila ng mga slaves. So they were getting out of Egypt, and at the same time, they were in front of them. What's in front of them? Uncertain future. Parang many people are saying, it makes me insecure. What is the future ahead of us? Hanggang kailan ba to? Uubusin ba tayo nitong coronavirus? In fact, some people are even saying, nag-compute pa sila ng corona. Ano ba yung sabi nila? Sabi nila yung corona daw parang, give me a little time to see what some doomsday prediction of some people. Para daw itong nag-count sila ng C-O-R-O-N-A. C is 3, O is 15, R 18, O 15, N 14, A 1. Tapos nag-compute sila ng corona, 6 daw yan. Tapos 3, 15, 18, 15, 14, 1, 66. Sabi na, this is like Revelation. It's like the beast, parang ganon. And it's like the devil taking over. Kaya nga sabi nila itong COVID, Christ over this, ano ba yung vida yun? The virus, something like that. The 19, mga ganon. So parang some people are even predicting, baka ito na yung ating katapusan. Ilan ba yung uubusin niya? Parang ganon. Our doctors, mga 9 na yung patay. Kanina kagabi, I was the Philippine Medical Association are mourning for their death. Of course, ang dami pang nasa front lines. My student, I was calling them on the online, and they were saying, may anak siya na, and son-in-law also, is in the front line kasi police. Yung anak niyang daughter niya, the daughter is pregnant 6 months. And nasa front line, nasa checkpoint. I just realized that hindi lang lahat ay yung mga trying to save lives, yung mga nasa, of course, we really think of them, yung mga health workers. But also you have people who are trying to have security para hindi magkagulo, parang ganon, and to have peace and order. Yung palang isang guard doon sa checkpoint ay daughter ng aming estudyante, and she is pregnant 6 months. So may mga police pala na ganyan, no, na nagbabantay sa labas. So tapos of course our janitors disinfect our place, and many other people who are trying to help us with cooking, mga ganon, okay? And people taking new jobs or whatever. But let me go back to Bobby Gav. Sabi ni Bobby Gav, sa likod, merong panganib kasi inahabol ng mga sundalo. Sa harap, hindi mo alam yung kinabukasan. You don't know the future. And the right and left, you have the wall of water. Hindi mo alam kung babagsak pa yung tubig na yan o hindi. So parang you have front, you have sa back, you have on the right, on the left. Parang you have all this danger around now. So saan ka titingin? Saan ka pupunta? Sa likod? Babalik ka ba sa Egypt? You go in front and you have this uncertain future, or right and left. Saan ka punta? Right, left. Tubig na sa kanan at saka kaliwa. What do you do? Of course, for si Bobby Gav, sabi niya, abante ka lang kasi at least in the future, God holds us in the palm of His hands. Okay. Pero ako may iba akong sagot doon. At this is not mine. I borrowed it from someone. Maybe this is a time not only to move forward, which is also true. Kaya lang, hindi pa tayo maka-move forward kasi may mga checkpoint nga, di ba? Quarantine. Right now, I think what I like what one person said. I borrow it. You look up. Yan. Wala ka sa likod. Sa harap, hindi sigurado. Sa kanan, merong wall of water. Ganyan. Saan tayo pupunta? Hindi na tayo pwede magpakamatay sa baba. Parang ganyan, mamatay na lang ako dito. Ganyan. Hindi pwede. We need to have hope. So saan natin makukuha yung faith and hope? You look up, di ba? You look up to the God who has wisdom, the God who is our healer, the God of freedom and compassion. Sabi nga nila, this is daw the real ark of the covenant, the commandments, This like a reminder to the Ark of Noah. That's also important. Parang quarantine yon and lockdown. But it's a time to see the Ark, the tablets. What are the tablets? Hindi lang siya vitamin C or vitamin D, kagaya ng morning sun, but it's also the tablets of thou shalt not, which is really discipline, ethical, di ba? We know our boundaries and our limits, but it's also a call for love God above all, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Therefore, ibig sabihin nito, it's also a summary which Jesus has done for us, and it is instilled in our hearts. So in the Old Testament, they are asked to recall this God who is the creator, the God who gives the covenants, especially later on when they will try to have their normal life. Okay. Tapos that's first one is the home or tahanan. The second is kay Bobby Gev, who says that we have to trudge on. Pero ako, my own thinking is also to look up, but also to look within, especially to the God of promise and the God of hope. Yan. And the third one I want to talk about is the idea of God's time. Remember, this Jesus, like a prophet, is also like not welcome kasi he's out of the box. He likes to challenge the present laws because he knows the spirit of the law. Kahit na Sabbath day, binabanatan siya, is he breaking the Sabbath, mga ganun. Although, of course, Sabbath is also important kasi it means you slow down. Pero, what he saw was like, itong may pangangailangan. It's like he has the spirit of the Good Samaritan. This is also a time, I realize, it's a time of compassion. It's also a good time kasi we are impatient, di ba? And then some people are saying, ayoko na itong work from home kasi mas maraming trabaho. The students who are not in school, maraming mga homework na binibigay yung mga teachers. So it's like mga lawyers at saka yung nag-aaral, wow, tatambak yung mga ratrata na daw, mga ganyan. Kasi madami sila mga readings. So people are saying it's more stressful to work from home. Tapos you're like in a box and ikot ng ikot doon. So some people are saying, some people are becoming impatient. And like the hardest for a patient is to become patient. But I think yung patience has a root word. It means pati. It means compati, compassion. Of course, the root word is pati. It means there's also a wisdom in suffering. That's why, sabi nga ni St. Paul, the cross may be a scandal, but the cross is also the lowest, the highest, the breath of God's love. Maybe I will end with that particular image because I do that every morning, and when I do my parang exercise, thanks to Father Joe Kilong-Kilong, meron siya mga body prayer, and I do body prayer, and I recall this, parang blessing, mamaya mag-bless tayo nito. I recall this parang peace prayer also. Peace before us, peace behind us, peace under our feet, peace within us, peace over us, and let all around be peace. The cross for me is that particular image. It's the lowest. What is the lowest? Because he felt abandoned. The Lord felt rejected. Of course, you know what happened to the disciples. They ran away. Okay? He was denied by Peter. Judas sold him for this, naging corrupt, mga ganon. Anyway, so but the point is, it was the lowest, and then of course, on the cross, he was really feeling, ano bang saysay nito? Parang he was even questioning his father. He said, "Why have you forsaken me?" But you know, it was not only the lowest point for Jesus, di ba, yung agony in the garden or something like that. But it was also his highest. What is the highest? Highest because it's salvific. Why is that? He may not have understood fully, what happened to him. But what was the salvific? They say, St. Ignatius of Loyola says, in a time of desolation, what can we do? To trust God. So in other words, not my will, but your will be done. Ibig sabihin, I think in this right time, ang tawag sa Greek niyan, kairos, no? There's a passage of time. Gusto natin bilisan na agad dyan. Pero in our lowest point, we ask for that grace, sabi nga ni St. Ignatius, to trust God. You know, that is salvific. So one is to trust, the other one, surrender. You know, that is salvific because surrender is also like faith. Surrender is like, sabi nga ni St. Ignatius, few people understand what will happen to them if they put themselves in the hands of God and what miracle happens. You know, for an addict and for those who are trying to recover, to surrender is golden because when they surrender, it's almost like they say the highest power or the higher power, please take over. Yon. I know there'll be recovery. So parang siguro we'll borrow that also. Sabi nga ni St. Paul, may you discover the height, the depths, the breadth, and length of God's love. It's like cross, di ba? May you discover the height, the depths, the breadth, and length of God's life. North, south, east, west. Parang all over. Parang ganyan. Everyone is affected. But you know, this is also a golden time. In my narrow heart, O God, sa Psalm daw, okay? In the Psalms, it says, in my narrow heart, expand my heart, O God, that thou mayest enter. You know, this is a beautiful psalm that Dora today, who was affected by that psalm. In my narrow heart, O God, expand it so that you may enter. You know, I'm really amazed at so many people expanding their heart, no? And tatama yung sabi ni Dora today. Right now, there's an overflow also of generosity. Ang dami, even our scholastics, they try to, of course, with proper precaution, nagre-repack ng mga rice sa grade school. Ito, galing sa iba't ibang bansa. They are from Myanmar, they are from Korea, they are from Vietnam, they're from Indonesia. But you know, they share with us and they share for the whole world. Lalo na yung mga mahihirap. It's a time to expand the heart. So, we pray to God. Okay? Medyo tumatagal na po aking sinasabi. But I pray to God for this special blessing. Can I end with a prayer? Kasi mamaya meron pa tayong prayer na ora imperata or something. So, ang gagawin natin ay, maybe I'll pray in Tagalog kasi maybe isa lang, no? Kasi I know there's an English translation. But I like to pray in our language kasi marami naman sa nakikinig yung mga Pinoy. This is based from the many prayers of the people. Ito yung my version of ora imperata. Okay? Mahal naming Ama, gabayan at iligtas niyo po kami sa kapahamakan, sa karamdamang coronavirus at sa kasalanan. Bigyan niyo kami ng liwanag na makita ang tunay na pangangailangan o kakulangan sa gitna ng dilim ng pagkabagabag sa panganib ng sakuna, sakit at sala. Kami dalhin sa tamang landas ng pagmamahal, paghilom at pagkakaisa. Ipagkaloob niyo po ang liwanag upang matuklasan namin ang aming kahinaan sa pagharap sa aming pagkabagsak at pagbangon. Naway mamulat ang mata sa paanyaya na maging malakas sa pagtitiwala sa inyong plano ng kaligtasan at kalayaan. Kumapit sa inyong pagpapatawad at pagtanggap na walang paghatol. Higit sa lahat, itinataas namin sa inyo ang mga naghahanap ng lunas at paggaling sa COVID-19. Akayin kaming matuklasan ang aming kalakasan at kalikasan na kaloob ng Espiritu Santo sa katawan ni Kristo at bayan ng Diyos upang maging daluyan ng pagdamay o pagmamalasakit, kinahon at ginhawa sa pamamagitan ng pag-awit, pagpapakain, paglikom ng pangtustos para sa mga nahaharap sa hamon ng karamdaman ng COVID-19 at mga nangangailangan ng pagkain sa araw-araw. Ano man naming Diyos, pagyamanin niyo sa amin ang tamang yapak at yakap sa kapwa, lalo at higit para sa mga nangangailangan at naghihikahos. Ituro niyo sa amin ang daan upang mabawasan ang kalabisan. Dagdagan ang kakulangan, pagtibayin ang pagkakaisa sa pagmamalasakit at lubos na pagsisikap upang malampasan at mapagtagumpayan itong kasalukuyang hamon ng COVID-19. Sa gitna ng pangangailangan, Sa kabuhayan, kalusugan at kapwa, pag-alabin po ninyo ang aming pamilya at ilapit sa puso ni Jesus at turuan paano magmahal sa Diyos, sa kapwa, kagaya ng pagmamahal sa sarili. Sa ngalan ni Jesus, aming tagapagligtas at manunubos, lahat ng ito ay aming inihiling. Amen.